Most people fall in love slowly. They analyze, they hesitate, they keep emotional distance. And then there's you. You feel it almost immediately, deeply, intensely, sometimes after one clear conversation or a single shared moment that others would call small. Maybe people have told you you're too fast, too emotional, too involved. But here's what's strange. Those comments often come from people who barely feel anything at all. If you've ever fallen in love quickly, stay with me. I'll explain. Because you're not just reacting differently. You're operating on a different psychological and biological rhythm. This rhythm makes certain moments explode into meaning for you. And this is where it gets interesting. Let's remove the shame first. There is nothing wrong with you. You're not weak, not naive, not desperate for attention. You're simply wired differently. Your nervous system is tuned for depth, not surface-level connection. You notice subtleties others miss. You hear a tone and translate it into a world. The crowd looks for safety. You look for meaning. The crowd collects experiences. You search for resonance. Falling fast isn't a character flaw. It's emotional sensitivity paired with internal clarity. And here's what's strange. That sensitivity makes your life richer in ways the crowd will never understand. When you start to fall, your body releases chemicals that create bonding and anticipation. Oxytocin builds a sense of closeness. Dopamine turns small signals into compelling thoughts. Research shows that for some people, these systems activate faster and stronger, partly because of genetics, partly because early life tuned the system to notice connection quickly. Think of it like an old radio dial that is more finely tuned. Where others get static, you hear a clear station. Add ancient tribal instincts to the mix. Your ancestors survived by forming quick alliances. Connection meant protection. Attachment meant belonging. So your nervous system learned to spot potential allies fast. The crowd evolved toward caution. You evolved toward connection. But here's what's strange. In modern dating, this ancient wiring looks like falling too fast, when really it's older biology meeting a new world. And that mismatch creates both friction and opportunity. And now the pattern deepens. Love uses the brain's reward pathways, the same systems that make surprises and games so hard to ignore. Research finds that waiting for a message or sign from someone you care about lights up those reward systems, especially when their attention is unpredictable. Sometimes warmth, sometimes distance, sometimes closeness, sometimes silence. This mix creates a powerful hook. Your mind begins chasing the next emotional cue, like someone waiting for an unexpected payoff. But the twist here is you feel this more intensely not because you're weaker, but because your reward system is more sensitive. That sensitivity makes attachments intense and fast. It can also make endings sharp. The crowd hears background noise. You hear the storm. And here it becomes interesting. That intensity can be a source of art, focus, and rare connection if you learn to steer it. Here's the paradox. People who fall fast often have a more stable internal identity. You don't build self-worth from trophies or social proof. You don't need constant external approval. Your sense of self comes from wholeness, not performance. You already feel complete. So you aren't chasing excitement. You're seeking alignment. You look for mirrors that confirm who you already are. That makes your relationships more about shared meaning than about filling a gap. The crowd wants stimulation. You want understanding. And here's where it gets interesting. What looks like impulsive passion is often deep psychological autonomy. Your quick attachments are choices, not emergencies. Your empathy runs deep, but it doesn't live only in romance. It flows into art, into ideas, into late-night conversations, into projects and creative work that require sustained feeling. You sense people beneath their words. You notice the half-said. The crowd spreads attention wide. You send it deep. And here's what's strange. Falling fast isn't about needing someone else. It's about your capacity to give yourself fully. That capacity fuels creativity, leadership, and rare intimate collaborations. It becomes a strength when you channel it towards purpose. At the root is meaning. Most people navigate life by stories, careers, timelines, roles. You navigate life by experience. You seek moments of authenticity. You want to feel alive, not just successful. For the crowd, love is a chapter. For you, it's a doorway. You don't collect relationships. You look for mirrors of your inner world. This orientation can feel risky. It also opens you to deeper growth and clearer self-knowledge. And here's where it becomes profound. You don't fall fast. You recognize depth early. You notice the probability of meaning before others do. So if you fall in love too fast, listen carefully. You aren't broken. You aren't excessive. You aren't naive. You're playing a different game. A game where connection matters more than control, where sincerity beats strategy, where meaning outranks caution. The crowd lives on the surface. You dive. If this perspective resonates, I have another video exploring how emotionally sensitive people see the world differently. I gently invite you to watch it, because maybe you didn't find this perspective by accident.